Hey guys, back with another duos match with Bitter. Um, this time we went to whatever this place is called, Shogun something Solitude. This one was very frustrating to make. Behind the scenes stuff. I always love behind the scenes stuff. I don't know about you guys, but like when YouTubers do that, I love that. I know I'm not anything special, but and I probably do it in very inefficient ways, but I like behind the scenes stuff. I'll get distracted by this multiple times in the story, but how I'm doing this is I'm making Bitter's point of view the main video, and then I'm doing my point of view as an overlay. Real quick, remember this guy right here. I don't end up finding him, but we see him multiple times throughout this this match. And I'm doing my point of view as like a overlay on top of it. And every time I want to see Bitter's point of view, I cut my part out of it so that it shows that it's Bitter's. The first video worked perfect. I lined them up, no problems. This video didn't work nearly as well because there were a couple of pauses for whatever reason, in Bitter's gameplay. So what happened was I lined them up, and every time there's a pause in Bitter's gameplay, it ended up making our overlay off by a couple seconds. And so I would cut to mine and it would jump back 2 seconds or jump forward 2 seconds or something like that. And so what I kept doing was I kept inserting, I go silent here for a second just to avoid some copyright stuff. But what I end up doing is I insert, honestly, a picture of my dog into Bitter's gameplay to make that gap disappear and to reline it up. And I just make that picture of my dog show up for the exact amount of time that would make it line back up. So it's very inefficient, but it's the way I know how to do it. And so I had to do that 3 or 4 different times. It was difficult to reline up, but you know, it is what it is. We got it going again. I don't know why Bitter does go down and die in this one, and I think the death was one of them, but I don't know what the other ones were, honestly. So the death and the respawn were 2 of them that kind of just gave a little jump in time. But there was a random third one as well. I don't come to this place a lot. I was actually pretty disappointed with the amount of loot here. I thought, given the size and the amount of buildings here, there'd be a good amount of loot. I don't think it's enough. Duo's fine, but if you get another duo landing with you and they're taking some of the loot, I landed here as a squad with Bitter, Mama Bear, and Cranial yesterday, 2 days ago, whatever it was, and there is not enough loot for one squad. We didn't even land with another squad. There's not enough loot there for a squad. Anyways, I hate this city just as much, if not more, and you'll see why. We've all done it, but it does seem to have a lot of action. I think we just saw our friend, the AVY guy, whatever it was. He's partners with the Trump guy, Trum9 or whatever they ended up doing. And I saw him, so it makes me think I saw the AVY guy. But we see this guy so many times. Their ending is quite funny, I'm not going to lie. Was that him? Yeah, there he is. We have all done this right here. Every single one of us. Don't lie. We've all done it at this place. So unfortunately, yeah, Bitter almost falls in the water. Bitter goes down here. So I have to come down and get her. It's even worse when you do it as a solo. And, you know, there's no coming back from that. And you're like, okay, nobody saw that. I guess, which would be worse? Would it be... And I had to do Bitter's point of view here because I thought it was really funny that she just put the camera right on her butt. I don't know. What do you think is worse? Solo, die instantly, or duos, trio, squads, and you have witnesses, but you live? I think that place it's so easy to do it that it's not even really embarrassing. It's so easy to do it. I think I've done it at least 3 times. And once with Mama Bear, twice on my own, I think. That's why I kind of avoid coming here, I'm not going to lie. But I get there, I come to the edge, and I'm like, all right, we're going to leave now. Was there? Oh, yeah, there was a person there. I don't remember this guy. There you are. This guy actually, I think it was a bot, but the window for a bot hit me fairly hard. If it wasn't a bot, it was not even a player. I think it was a bot, though. Yeah, so I looked at our stats the other day. Me and Bitter have played 8 matches together with 3 wins, and I didn't save the 3rd win, but so we got a pretty decent little rapport going. 3 out of 8 ain't bad, especially with a Switch player. Switch is very difficult to play on, and Bitter is crushing it with the Switch. I got like my 3rd 10-kill win. I think it was 12. On my Switch, and I think it was because I got an easier lobby because I was on the Switch. But I've gotten like 3 or 4 wins. I was like, it's not even worth trying anymore. I don't know how many of you have played on Switch, but it just makes what Bitter's doing that much more impressive. It does also explain a little bit using the bat and the sword as much as she does. The aim on the Switch is very difficult. You wouldn't think it would be that much different, especially if you are holding a Pro Controller. But I've done it, and it is night and day different between Xbox and PlayStation. I've never done PC. I don't want to do PC. I know all the good things behind it, but it's not for me. But yeah, that definitely explains her prowess in the bats and the sword. It would be the easiest thing to use on the Switch. I think up here, not these first people, but after that, we end up seeing our friends. I need to look at what those letters are. The Avi guy and Trump. These were 2 bots. And we killed them and then got attracted our friends. What is AVY? Is that what it is? Avi. I'm going to call him Avi, even if it's not AVY. It's Avi and Trump. But they get it. Yeah, Abby, for sure. Abby. I ended up there. I was trying to come around to pick Bitter up, but I didn't realize I was driving away from her at first and kind of left her in a bad position. But, you know, stuff happens in the middle of the fight. You can't really tell sometimes. I thought I was helping, but my plan was to give it a few seconds and then come back for her card. And if I remember right, I believe I was looking for a different car because this car was starting to get low on gas. So I was looking for another car. And the place we're in, there aren't a lot of car spawns in this area. Every now and then you can find a random one along the road. but didn't end up happening here. At least not back there. And I know that there's multiple car spawns here at Foxy, and that's where I was coming here, but then obviously got herded away by those shots. Yeah, just go back for the card. That's one of the things I'm best at, is staying alive and then getting the cards and respawning. And I had one with Mama Bear and Cranial and Bitter yesterday. Actually, I think Mama Bear was left by then. I think it was just Cranial and Bitter. Hey, look, a car. Where they both went down and got killed. I backed into, it was still a 1-tick storm, so I just went into the storm. I'm like, all right, we were right on the edge. Just chase me into the storm. Do it, I dare you. And they didn't. And I found 2 mid kits. I healed up, and then I got their cards and found a place to respawn them. The storm, when it's a 1-tick, isn't a scary thing. It's really not. Especially if you have a med kit, you can last 3.5 minutes in the storm if you have 2 med kits, and if you have 3, you can last over 5. Especially if you find some barrels and stuff along the way. And with cars, you can just keep moving as much as you want, and you can get far distances. And people just aren't willing to go into the storm to chase you. At least not in the lobbies I am. I think in the higher lobbies people will chase, but yeah, the storm's a great tool that people kind of forget about sometimes. It's a great way to lose people because they're not willing to go in. They're just not. And then impulse nades, and I have a knack for, especially in solos when there's not multiple people looking, but it works with duos and trios as well. I have a knack for sending myself flying and then just getting behind something and not moving, and they just run right by you. If you can get out of sight for a moment, just even for a moment, it is so easy to throw people. It's so people to throw people off your set if you just can get out of their sight for just a second. Not moving, and the fact that in the games like this you can't hear breathing or subtle movements. Like if you don't move your sticks, you can't be heard unless you're holding like the bat, which has an electricity component to it, like a zzz thing. But it's so easy to lose people. We decided to kill these people, get better some shields and better loot, and I figured I would get the forecast while I'm at it. I don't even remember if we end up significantly using the forecast in our positioning. We do. I do remember now. Hey, look, Abby got a kill up there. What was I saying? Oh yeah, we do use the forecast. The forecast is one of those tools it's great to have, but it also attracts, the shooting attracts people, and other people do want it, so a lot of times you'll meet people at the forecast tower. So it's not necessarily always the smartest thing, but we decided just to come up here for positioning, but so much was happening around us, and we get shot from so many different angles that we're like, we end up getting out of there. We're like, whatever. I think this is the first time I've shot the sniper this entire season. This sniper, I love snipers. This sniper sucks. Like, it's hard to aim because the bullet drop is so significant. And when you do get a hit, it really doesn't hit that hard. I think, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's really good for hitting cars, Because sometimes I'll get hit by a bullet, which I assume is the sniper, and it just stops your car dead in its tracks. So I do think it does have a use there, but I'm not entirely sure if that's the sniper. I don't know what else it would be, though. We end up seeing our... so I do hit him with the car here. He does die on this fall. I switched to bitter to get her action before my guy died, but the hit did kill him. And we end up seeing our boys Avi and Trump here in just a second. I don't remember exactly how we both had so much action going on here that it was hard to choose who to be on. I ended up choosing Bitter. Her action seemed a little bit more action-packed, whereas mine was take a couple swings, miss a couple times, maybe hit a light shotgun shot and impulse away type thing. So I stuck with her point of view after these shots here, just because it was Abby, no, Abby, don't kill me. It was like my friend. She was all up in everybody's face. And I think she gets multiple kills here, but Spartacus captured. So we see Spartacus a few times too, not as much as Abby, but she does knock him here, but he does get a revive. But it was a great chance. She got everybody off the top of the mountain, so it was a great chance for us to reset and just take a moment, reload our guns, heal up, all that stuff. I think Spartacus was with somebody called Josh Boy, if I remember right. And that becomes critical down the stretch. Just there's so many times where there's like 3 or 4 teams fighting in one area. Sometimes it's good to remember who's partner. I mean, obviously within a game, sometimes it's not as easy to tell, but and you guys know me. I know I'm not full health, and I do have 6. That's why I use those 2. I do have 6 splashes, but if I'm not in the middle of the fight, I like to take my time to find either splash barrels or big pots or something. And this was one of those times I was using the forecast. I knew where the next one was going to be. It was on the far side, so we go to the far side of the circle here because we knew that's where it was going to be next. So we just go into the woods here. But I always try to find something to heal other than that, and I like to use those in the heat of battle. If I see a battle coming, I will use them to get full, but if I'm not in a battle, I'm trying to find any other way to heal up, which I find a squishy here, so it worked out. I don't know if Bitter hesitated, but she definitely was a lot shorter than I, and it ended up she got some hits on her, but could have been a lot worse. I should have not saved the squishy. I already used it because she was full at the time, but I should have remembered where it was and kept track of it. It's hard to do sometimes in the middle of a gunfight. And it might have been so yeah, there's Spartacus and Josh Boy. We didn't see who those 2 in the back were. Their names were overlaying each other, but it's always great in the end game if you don't have a car to weaken everybody's cars, because those things are just menaces to society. Oh, I still had it. I should have given it to her. That was poor teammate work on my part. I ended up helping her here anyways, but I had something actively to help her. I still can't believe I did this in the middle of the fight, but I was thinking, I don't remember what I wanted out of it. But yeah, right there, real quick, I told her, I was like, wait, don't do the big pot. I have a mini. Do the mini first. I cannot see those names. Okay, so yeah, we've got good positioning because this stuff can't get broken. I know there's some explosives in the game right now, but I mean, there's so much happening, they weren't coming for us. In rocks, end game where there are lots of cars, rocks are your friend. They can't hit you as easily. And we were in perfect position here. There was a battle. We could fire in on them, and they weren't going to fire back. That's the key. We weren't in much danger, if any. Who's going to fire at somebody far away when there's a battle right up in there? Okay, let's see. I think I end up putting in that whole battle from a different angle just because it was so chaotic. It was hard to tell what happened. I thought Bitter and I were going to finish on a 2v2, but it ended up being a 2v1v1, and I was curious how that happened. So I do end up doing a different angle to figure that out. But these are 3 solos that were alive. Kill the car! Get on the rock! So yeah, killing the car was huge here. Bitter gets the final kill, but killing the car made him get out. So yeah, here's our friends Avi and Trump just a second ago, and I wanted to show this just because, guys, really, you can't, I know I said the storm's not scary, but that's when it's 1 tick. You can't get stuck in the storm this late. Like, you gotta know your route better than that. Come on, guys. So yeah, and then this whole huge battle happens right after that, so it was perfect to look at it. So this guy up top, the Buffalo guy, he ends up sort of winning it for us, and you'll see why here. Everybody's got 1. And it's down to Buffalo. And was that our boy Josh over there? Was that who that was? Oh, and he goes to get Spartacus. His partner Spartacus is alive. So right now it's a 2v2v1. And our friend Buffalo here manages to take out Spartacus in a 2v1. And so that makes it the 2v1v1. And Josh doesn't have time to revive him because the storm's coming in. So it's perfect. And so yeah, this is where he drives at us and we start shooting. And so I'll go back to the regular gameplay because there's nothing new to learn from here. So yeah, then it ends up being a 2v1 versus Josh Boy, and Bitter with her bat. I was telling her right here, no, stay back, stick together, but she has a bat, so she's good. I should have. The guy can't hit her because she's got the bat. So it worked out very nicely. Great win by Bitter and I. Again, I silenced it due to copyrights. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with Bitter the last handful of days. GG's.